fam?
What up, Laker fam?
Laker fam.
Let's go, Lakers!
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
We ballin'. But it's purple. Or let's go, baby. We ballin'. Ain't nobody in the world, niggas.
LA, I got us. Who with me? Let's roll.
Oh yeah, you already know.
You know what they yell when they see me?
Hurling go, hurling go.
This is Dying's on my way to the
Slam dunk.
gonna hate her like who
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Champions of the spot. Watch how they watch us. Meet me at the top.
LA, baby.
Nah, we ain't gon' stop. LA be like, Laker fans like, LA be like.
We ballin'. Ain't nobody in the world, niggas gonna stop. We ballin'. It's all purple and gold, baby. It's all purple and gold.
What up, Lakers Nation? What it do, what it do, what it do? Lakers crew, welcome to Lakers Over Everything. We are here for the Tuesday, March 25th edition of the LOEdown. Yeah, the LOE Daily Pod. Again, this is something new here on the channel, but here we are. And I hope you guys are having a great day, a beautiful day, beautiful morning. It's morning when this drops here on the West Coast. So wherever you are in the country, in the world, I hope you're doing well. We can't say the same about our Lakers. They're not doing so well after that loss last night in Orlando, which we're going to break all down. But first and foremost, again, if this is your first time visiting the channel, then I would love to hear from you. So hit me up down in the comment section and let me know on why you're here. If you're liking what you're hearing, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family. And don't forget, after you do that, to smash that bell so that every time we are here, whether it be live or whether it be for the lowdown or whatever the case may be, you'll get that notification and you can come see what we're talking about. Of course, if we're live, you can join in on the fun. And, our live shows are interactive shows. So we'd love to have you there. And everyone else, make sure you hit that like button for your boy. Again, that's free. It's easy to do. It takes literally half a second. As small as it is to you, it's major to me. It's major to this channel. So please, please, please do that if you're listening in. And enough of all that, man. Let's dive right in. Also, one more note. Programming note, you can catch me, today's Tuesday, so you can catch me over on the Bleacher Report app for Lakers Daily. Yeah, we're doing it here, but we also do it over there. Catch me there later on today at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. We'll be over there talking a little bit more of what we discuss here tonight. And just on a much, much, much larger platform. Hey, we'll get there. We'll get there someday over here too. I'm going to speak that thing into existence. But nevertheless, catch me over there every Tuesday and Thursday. So you catch me twice a week over there for Lakers Daily. But that's going down tonight. The Lakers don't play tonight, but we'll be on and we'll be talking all things purple and gold. So if you can't get enough of the Lakers like I can't, then join me over there. But again, enough of all that. Let's dive right in. The Lakers. So they're in Orlando. They were in Orlando last night for the first of a 4-game road trip. Yes. 3 of them against Eastern teams, right? So they're on the East Coast, and things did not go as planned. Of course, we're coming off of that 31-point beatdown to the Chicago Bulls on Saturday night. So we thought that the Lakers would come out and want to avenge that loss, come out thirsty to get a W, come out just full of energy and full of effort, and it's just going to be go from wire to wire. Well, not so fast, my friend. It wasn't that at all. It was a little more of the same that we saw on Saturday night, although it wasn't as bad. Tonight's beatdown was only by 12 points. The Lakers lose 118-106. So, yeah, tough. The Lakers have now dropped 3 games in a row. You go back to last week, last Thursday, that scheduled loss to the Milwaukee Bucks where the Lakers set everyone. And then you have the embarrassing loss to Chicago, a 40-loss Chicago team. And then you turn around and you go to Orlando and you lose tonight again. You thought that they would have had all their I's dotted and their T's crossed in this one after that embarrassing loss on Saturday. But no, just unexplainable. And this was a very tough loss for a multitude of reasons. Just one, the optics of it. You don't need to be losing to the Orlando Magic in March. Now, Orlando, they swept us on the season. That was their second win against us. Of course, earlier in the season, Franz Wagner hit that game-winning 3. And we got a heavy dose of Franz Wagner on last night as well, as he balled out and kind of had his way with our purple and gold. But let's dive right in again. 118-106 defeat. So Powell and Wagner, the two of them combined for 62 points. 62 points from the two of those guys. They're 2 stars. And they shot a combined 22 of 43 from the field. So they kind of just had their way with us. It was tough to watch, man. It was tough to watch, particularly that second half. But let me pull up some stats here. Let me give you the Magic stats. Again, Paolo had 30 points in 40 minutes. So, you know, they took this one serious, right? As everyone does. We talked about it on Saturday with Chicago. Everyone takes the Lakers seriously, as they should. You know, we're the best franchise in the entire NBA, the best franchise in all of sports. So when they're on the schedule, you're going to get everyone's best. And Paolo balled out. He balled out in the first half. He really took off in the first half. But 30 points, and his partner, Franz Wagner, dropped 32 on us. 32 points and 9 assists, 5 rebounds from Franz. He turned up against us. 38 minutes. So Powell did his thing in the first half. Franz did his thing in the second half, really. And it was a tag team performance. But everyone else, Anthony Black off the bench, shout out to him, man. He had 17 points in 30 minutes. So he balled out. Wendell Carter Jr., he did his thing. 12 points, 8 rebounds. KCP, our beloved former champion, KCP, he scored 9 points, hit 3 threes on the Lakers, as we figured he would do. And then from Corey Joseph, he had 5 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Caleb Houston, 8 points off the bench in 17 minutes. But it was Franz and Paolo, man. They just had their way with the Lakers. Again, particularly in that second half. Speaking of the second half, that third quarter, they outscored the Lakers by 14 points, and there was just no looking back. The Lakers were doing their things in the first half, man. They really were. Luka off to another, amazing start. Had big points in the first half, but Orlando went into their locker room and they made adjustments, and they came out and did whatever they wanted to do in that third quarter. They outscored the Lakers 34-18 in the third quarter. So a 14 point difference for Orlando in that third quarter, and they just didn't look back. The Lakers just they just never rebounded from there. Now the biggest lead that Orlando had was 17 in that third quarter. I think it also reached 17 in the fourth, but it was just too much for the Lakers to overcome that plus 14 or that minus 14 on the Lakers side deficit in that third quarter. It was just too much to overcome, because the Magic, they did not look back. Every time the Lakers tried, they pushed in that fourth quarter. They got it all the way down to I believe 8 points, maybe even 6 at a point, and the Magic, just kept coming. And before you know it, was back up to 10, then back up to 12, and then back up to 14. They were not playing around, and like I said, the second half, they just had their way offensively with the Lakers. They did whatever they wanted. They started driving to the cup and scoring at the cup, or dishing it out to open threes. hitting threes, getting to the free throw line. They just were doing their thing, having their way with the Lakers. And the Lakers defense, there's a lot of questions, man, a lot of questions. They fell off tremendously defensively. Again, they gave up 118 points to the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic is not a good offensive team. They're one of the worst offenses in the entire NBA. We're talking like 28th. They're way down there. They do not score a lot of points. They average 104 points or 106 points on the year. That's their average. So that tells you right there that they are not a good offensive team at all. And they put up 118 points on the Lakers. Now, Chicago, of course, they put up that 146 spot, the worst that the Lakers have given up in just 4 quarters of basketball, not including an overtime game, so just in regulation. The most that they've given up since 1984. You got to go all the way back to 1984, a year before I was even born. But 146 points. But Chicago, they're an offensive team. You know, they're up there. They're like the 6th ranked offense in the entire NBA since the All-Star break, right? Since the break. So they're a good offensive team. Orlando, that's not the case at all. They're a very bad offensive team. They do their work on the defensive end. They're a top defensive team, right? But a terrible offensive team. And shooting a three, they're even worse. You know, they're down there also, 28th shooting threes. And they came in tonight, they jacked up 43s and they made 38% of them. That's crazy. That's crazy. So that's what the Lakers allowed. They allowed 118 points and they allowed the Magic to shoot 38% from three. Insane. Absolutely insane. And also the Magic came in riding a 6-game losing streak at home. It's been a full month since since Orlando had won a home game. And, you know, when you're in a rut, you know, call on the Lakers because they will definitely help you get out of it. We see this all the time. If someone's struggling, a team's struggling, they're trying to break a streak or whatever the case may be, yeah, schedule the Lakers because, again, they will help you out. So tough, man. The Lakers fought at 15-19 on the road, so they've been really, really bad on the road this year. Really, really bad. And, of course, they're coming off a couple of weeks ago that 0-4 road trip. So you factor that in. It's just not been good on the road this year for the Lakers. That's why, you know, that home court advantage, trying to get that 2 seed may be very important. We talked about that yesterday, how important that might be because the Lakers struggle on the road. And when you drop games like this and you drop a game against Chicago and then you're on an 0-3 slide, it's going to be hard to capture that number 2 seed because there's just not a lot of games on the schedule. So the more you lose, the more difficult you make it. The Lakers now only have 11 games remaining on their schedule. 11 games remaining, which we'll talk about that in a second. But an even more concerning stat. So we know how hot the Lakers were. We know the basketball they were playing. We know the 8-game win streak they was on. We know, you know, winning 20 of 24 games and so on and so forth. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Lakers have lost 7 of their last 10 games. 7 of their last 10 games. 2 weeks ago, they went on an 0-4 road trip. And now here we are. Fast forward 2 weeks later, now they've lost 3 straight. Those are things that you do not want to see from a contender, right? Or from a team trying to make a push, a team trying to get a 2 seed, get a top seed in the conference. That's not what you want. Again, they've lost 7 of their last 10. They went on an 0-4 road trip 2 weeks ago, and now they've lost 3 straight. That's not good. That is not good at all. You want to be playing your best basketball right now, especially as a contender. You know, and you say, oh, well, you look at Cleveland. Cleveland's kind of slipping a bit. You know, they lost, 4 straight and blah, blah, blah. Well, Cleveland got the 1 seed sold up pretty much. That thing is sold up. They've been playing, you know, great basketball, so they can kind of afford to do that. The Lakers can't. Again, there's only 11 games remaining in the schedule, 11 games remaining on the schedule. And now Houston, they have a full 2 games ahead of the Lakers now. Now, fortunately for the Lakers, we do play Houston 2 more times. So we have them twice on our schedule, including next Monday. Next Monday, right? It's Tuesday when you're listening to this, but next Monday, we have a huge game against Houston at home. But if you keep losing games, those games aren't going to matter. Here's the thing. This is the point I want to stress. The Lakers, they were playing such great basketball. They had built themselves up a nice cushion to the fact where a cushion being that they could afford to lose some of those head-to-head matchups against some of these teams like a Houston or a Memphis or a Golden State. You know, these teams that we're going to have head-to-head matchups against. They had built a cushion up where they could still afford to lose that game and not lose any ground in the standings. Well, again, when you lose 7-10 and you have an 0-4 road trip and an 0-3, you know, in your last another 3-game losing streak, you're kind of giving up that cushion that you built. So all the work that you've done, all the work that you did, you know, from mid-January all the way up until last week or 2 weeks ago, you're giving that all up. Like you're giving all that up. And now those head-to-head matchups, they're going to turn into must-win games if you want to become a top seed. Because now, if you're losing these games, the less important games, you know, Chicago and Milwaukee and Orlando, and you look at Indiana and Chicago again. If you're losing those games, you're putting yourself in danger of falling all the way down to the play-in, man. I don't want to get on here and say that, but that is a legit possibility. Like it is. It's becoming a legit possibility if you keep dropping games. And you're dropping the games that you couldn't afford to drop. The gimme games, if you will. You know, Chicago's supposed to be a gimme. Orlando's supposed to be a gimme. And Orlando's not a bad team. Chicago, they're a playing team. Orlando's not a bad team. They're a decent team. But as a contender, these are teams you're supposed to beat. You know, you're supposed to beat Chicago at home. You're supposed to be able to go into Orlando and beat Orlando. You're supposed to be able to go into Indiana and beat Indiana. The Milwaukee game, I get it. It was a scheduled loss. They didn't play anyone. Okay, whatever. But it's not just that. You know, we're 2 games removed from that. And we're sitting here with 2 more frustrating losses. Again, there's only 11 games left in the season. And now the Rockets, they actually move up 2.5 games. So it's not even 2 games, it's 2.5 games. But in the loss column, okay, 2 games in the loss column. That's what you want to pay attention to. Denver moves up a full game. Now, Denver is playing. They're playing tonight as I sit here. Again, it's Monday night as I record this video, so they're playing. I don't know. I'll try to get a score update on that. But the Grizzlies. Now we have an identical record with the Grizzlies. After tonight's loss, we're 43-28, or after last night's loss, rather. We're 43-28. The Grizzlies are 43-28 as well. Now, they play Utah tomorrow. So we do own the tiebreaker over the Grizzlies. But if they beat Utah tomorrow, then they'll move up half a game ahead of us. Because they'll have 1 more win than we do. So the tiebreaker won't even matter. But again, they'll move up a half a game ahead of us. So going into Indiana, you know, you kind of have to win that game now. If you lose that one, then they gain even more ground on us. Memphis does. They gain even more ground. Now, of course, we play Memphis on Saturday. That's to end the road trip. We go to Memphis. Again, this week's schedule, we had Orlando. That's done. That's an L. Now on tomorrow, we go into Indiana. And then Thursday, it's a back-to-back. Thursday, we go into Chicago. And then on Saturday, we end this 4-game roadie in Memphis. So that Memphis game is going to be big. However, if the Lakers keep dropping games, you know, if they go into Indiana and drop a game in Indiana or drop a game in Chicago, then the Memphis game isn't as big because we could potentially go into that Memphis game 2 or 3 games behind Memphis, 3 games at most behind Memphis. So we can't look too far ahead of the schedule and say, oh, we got the head-to-heads and all that. No, you kind of got to win these other games as well. You because, again, that's why I say those head-to-head matchups become must-wins if you're dropping these games. But, okay, let me get back to looking at these standings. So now, Golden State, they're only 2 games behind us in the loss column. Just last week, we had a 4-game lead on them. That's cut in half. Again, when you go on a 3-game skid, yeah, that stuff evaporates real fast. It dissipates really fast. And that cushion that you built is taken away really fast. Now, we only have 2 games. We're only 2 games ahead of them in the loss column. And we have a game against them. But again, if you drop games in Indiana or Chicago, they could jump us and pass us up before we even get to playing them on April 3rd. That's when we play them. You get what I'm saying? You understand the point that I'm making? These losses are really bad losses. Like, these aren't losses that you can afford. Because again, the Warriors are in the 6th seed. So if Memphis wins tomorrow, they'll jump us. So the Lakers will move from 4th down to 5th. Okay? And then if you go into Indiana and you lose, you go into Chicago and you lose, or even if you go into Memphis and you lose, if you lose 2 of those 3 and the Warriors win their next 2, then guess what? We're tied with the Warriors. So now they tie us record-wise or in the loss column. So they tie us. and the Clippers, they're behind them. So we have a 3-game lead on the Clippers, but the Clippers, they've been playing some decent basketball as of late. They lost their last one against OKC, but they've been playing some decent ball as of late. So now you got to start worrying about them. And remember, that's the play-in. That's play-in territory. The 7th seed is play-in territory. So again, people say don't panic, don't panic. There's no way we'll fall down there. That's just not true. If they keep playing the way they're playing, they lost 7 of the last 10. If you continue to do that, or even if you just play 500 basketball, you can find yourself down there in the play-in. You can get jumped. That's how good everyone else is playing. That's how tight the conference is now. Again, I'm not saying that Memphis is going to go undefeated here on out. I'm not saying the Warriors are going to go undefeated here on out, or Denver, or even Houston. I'm not saying that. However, again, if you just play 500 basketball, you're still in trouble. You could find yourself being passed up in the standings. So the Lakers got a lot to figure out, man. They got a lot. They got to correct this course. They got to right this ship. And you give them a little grace because they just got LeBron back. They just got Rui back. So they're trying to integrate those guys back into the lineup and trying to work all that out. However, you still got to find a way to win. And more so on the offensive end, they're trying to figure all that out on the offensive end. You add LeBron in, it moves it moves AR out of that, number 2 option over to that number 3 option. So there's a lot to figure out offensively. However, you cannot allow your lack of production on the offensive end to, sour everything that you've been doing defensively. You can't do that. And the Lakers are starting to do that. DFS said it himself in his postgame. He said that the Lakers, what they're doing offensively is affecting them defensively. They're not making shots offensively, and it's, causing them to not play well on the defensive side of the ball. You can't do that. You cannot do that. That is unacceptable, and that is very concerning that the players are seeing that. The players are saying that. You can't do that. And offensively, yeah, it's been tough to watch. Only 106 points tonight. That's tough. A lot of that, you got to give credit to Orlando's defense. They're a good defensive team. However, yeah, it's just, you can't have 106 points. And when you look at the box score, you say, well, how? I mean, you look at Luka. Luka had 32 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. He shot 9 of 23 from the field. He made 4 threes, and he was 10 of 11 from the free throw line. So he played a great game. And also, even more credit to Luka. He only had 3 turnovers tonight. The Lakers as a team, of course, that was a big problem for me. That was a big part of my daily rant. Those 21 turnovers that they had in that Chicago game, 21 turnovers, 17 of which were live ball turnovers. Well, they trimmed that all the way down tonight. They only had 10 turnovers tonight. So only 10 turnovers and only 3 from Luka. Luka had 7 in that Chicago game on last Saturday, only 3 tonight. So shout out to him there. But again, you look at him offensively. Again, he was on a heater, another heater in the first half. But then you look at LeBron. LeBron played a lot of minutes tonight. What do you got? 38 minutes, but 24 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 9 of 18 from the field. Now, he didn't shoot the ball well from 3, 0 of 3 from 3, but he's been off for 2.5 weeks, or 2 weeks, however long it's been. He's been out. So he's going to be a little rusty. So I'm not worried about LeBron. He'll get back into form. But we need it more so sooner than later because we got to figure this offense out. We don't got a lot of games left to do it. We don't have a lot of practices in here when you're playing 8 games in 11 nights. You're not going to get any practice in. So you're going to have to figure it out and work it out on the court. So the sooner LeBron can get his legs under him and all that, then the better we'll be. Austin, we talked about Austin moving over to the third option. I think he has the biggest adjustment. He's all the things he's had to do. On one night, he's had to be the 1 and score 37 points, right? On another night, he has to be the 2, and now he's asked to be the 3 again. Offensively, he played well, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. So he played decent. DFS, he was the only one off the bench that really gave any production. 14 points from DFS, 7 rebounds. He knocked down 4 threes last night. So his offense is rounding into form. That's been the case as of late. So it's good to see that continue. But there was a lot of just hero ball. A lot of hero ball. They didn't run any offense. There wasn't any moving. There wasn't any cuts. There wasn't any passing. The Lakers only had 19 assists. That's not good. That is not good by any NBA team. Only 19 assists, but especially a Lakers team where you have playmakers, the best playmakers in the game, in the entire league, in LeBron and Luka, and then you have AR. When you got 3 playmakers like that, you only got 19 assists. That's a fail. That's not good at all. But again, offensively, it was just standing around, a lot of hero ball, and they got to do more. They got to move more. They got to run some stuff, run some actions, all that. It just was not there. And Jackson Hayes, I think he played his worst game since he's been our starter. But primarily, his game was off because he was in defensive trouble. Orlando just attacked him and got him into defensive trouble. But he didn't give you much offensively either. What he had, 6 points, 4 points, or 6 points. So he struggled. But again, he was in foul trouble most of the night. But teams are starting to take him away because they know how much of a lob threat and a roller that he is. They're starting to put a body on him. They're starting to pay him some attention. And what that does, we saw that, right? We talked about that. We saw that. What that does, it opens up the weak side, but guys weren't making shots. Those weak side shots, they weren't making shots. Now, also offensively, we talked about how stagnant the offense was. Again, we didn't shoot the ball well. We only shot 31% from the field on last night, 32% from 3. And then the amount of threes went down. We were with Luka, this Luka offense, we were up there top 6 in volume, in 3-point volume, right? 3-point attempts. Well, last night, we only shot 32 threes last night. We were up there 40 plus every night. So you only shot 32 tonight. And you shot 32%. So the shots just weren't falling tonight. I'm not too much worried about that. Those shots are going to fall. Again, our playmakers, they generate so many open looks. I'm not too worried about that. But what I was more so worried about offensively was just the standing around and just the hero ball, just the hero ball from our big three, if you will, or our big 2.5, whatever you want to call it. So we got to figure that out. And offensively, I thought we would be further along. This is, look at what, this is his 18th game. I want to see more points, and I want to see more scoring offensively. That's something that I thought would click immediately with these guys, and it's been a little bit slower. And granted, you had LeBron out of lineup for 2 weeks. You had Rui out of lineup for 2.5 weeks. So some nights you're playing with Jordan Goodwin, and now some nights you're playing with Rui and LeBron. It's been a lot, but again, no excuses. We got to figure that out. It's the NBA. Everyone's playing a lot of games. Everyone's tired. And, excuses, they're not going to win the championship. So we just got to figure that stuff out. And then, of course, we talked about defensively. We've just taken a step back, that scheme, that defensive scheme of just leaving people wide open for threes. I just don't know how sustainable that is. Like, I don't think you can ride that into the playoffs and ride that all the way to a championship. Again, that's the goal here, is a championship, being a contender, getting to the Western Conference Finals and coming out of the West. That's the goal. Everything that I speak about here on this channel, that's my mindset. That's my philosophy. I'm not just trying to make the playoffs. I'm not just trying to win a round or two. I'm not one that sits in that camp. Oh, whatever we get with Luka this year, that's just a bonus because we're not supposed to win this year. Blah, blah. I'm not for that. And I tell you why. Because did you not see the ball that the Lakers put out on that court since mid-January? They've shown that they were a contender. They've shown that they can go out and be one of the best teams in the entire NBA. They've shown that their ceiling could be raising a Larry O'Brien trophy at the end, of the year in June. They've shown that. They've shown what they are defensively. So it's not like with the trade, they struggled. It's not like with the trade, we knew that the defense would take a dip. They lost AD. They lost Max Christie. Their two best defenders, their two best defensive players. No, they've shown that they can be a top defense. So that's what we want to see. That's the product that they put out there on the court. So that's what we expect to see. That's what I expect to see. Because that's what they've shown us. They've shown that they're capable of that. They've shown that we don't have to wait until the summer to do this or to do that. No. Like, they're a good team. And they're a contender. They've shown that. They've been that. They've shown that for the last, 2.5 months. So since mid-January, almost 3 months, they've been showing that, or 2.5 months, they've been showing that. So, and you go back even further than that, when you acquired DFS, they started showing it then. Defensively, they flipped the switch then. So I'm going off of what they've shown. That's the demands that I'm going to put on this team. Now, do I believe that they were a number one defense? No, I don't. But a top 10 defense, yeah, I do believe they were that. So I thought that the defense would take a slip. The tighter things got, the better teams that you played, that they would take a bit of a dip. But I still expect them to be a top 10 defense. And, these last couple of games, they're looking like a bottom 10 defense. They're not even looking like a top 10 defense, over the period of a week. And again, you give them a little grace because Rui, LeBron, all that, you're trying to integrate these guys back in. But still, still, I expected the dip to be more so on the offensive end, not the defensive end. It can't be on both, right? You can't. You just cannot do that. You can't afford to do that. Because when you do that, you look up, you've lost 7 of your last 10. And now the play-in is creeping up more and more, inching closer and closer to you. Now, again, do I think that they'll fall down there? No, I think that they can figure it out. I think that they will figure it out. But they need to start figuring it out right now. They can't wait until Saturday when they play Memphis and next Monday when they play Houston and, when they play Golden State. They can't wait till then. They got to figure it out like right now. I'm talking about tomorrow in Indiana. And that's going to be a tall task. That's going to be tough. When you look at Indiana, they've been playing good basketball. And we talked about it. One of the areas of concern with this team was the bigger athletic guards. And you saw that tonight. You saw that tonight with Franz Wagner. He dominated. You saw it in Chicago against that game against Chicago. And again, all that was on tape. That everything they did was put on tape and everybody saw it. And now that's what they're doing. So you had another big guard in Franz Wagner, putting that ball on the floor and just driving right after him. And he scored 32 points. Guess what? You're going to get the same thing on tomorrow when you play Indiana and with Tyrese Halliburton. You're going to get the same thing. He's going to put the ball on the floor and drive it. Probably even better than Franz does, right? So that's an area of concern. These big athletic guards, and we're going to see more of that tomorrow. So again, they got to figure stuff out right now. They can't wait. They got to figure it out right now because you can't go into Indiana and lose. That's a game you got to get, and it's going to be difficult. Indiana, they're fast, they're athletic, they got the big guards. They're going to run and run and run and run and run, and they're going to jack up threes. And that's something that the Lakers struggle with. So it's going to be a difficult game going into Indiana, a very difficult game. But again, they're going to have to figure some stuff out. They're going to have to make some adjustments. What's been working for the past month and a half, 2 months, you're going to have to add to that. Now, I'm not saying go away from it altogether, but you're going to have to add to that. You're going to have to tweak those schemes and tweak those philosophies a little bit. Because if you don't, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. We got to figure this thing out again. We're in Indiana tomorrow, and then we play Chicago again. So if Chicago played the way they did in LA on Saturday, imagine how they're going to play at home. That'll make their season to sweep the Lakers. So you're going to get much more of the same. All they got to do is pretty much rewatch that film and do the same thing that they did. So how will the Lakers respond? How will the Lakers adjust? They have to make some adjustments. And when you got a rookie coach, that's something that was in the back of my mind that, I was worried about how we adjust and, how we respond to things. And as of late, we haven't been adjusting and responding well. Everything we've been doing, it just has not been working. And you saw it last night again. Orlando went into halftime, into the locker room, and they made some serious adjustments, and they came out and did whatever they wanted to do. Again, they came out and outscored the Lakers 34-18, so plus 14 in that third quarter. So, again, the Lakers are going to have to figure this thing out. We could talk about it all night. We could talk about it until we're blue in the face, but that's what they're going to, they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to figure it out. And then in the fourth quarter, they turned around and gave up 34 points. Crazy. In the second quarter, the Lakers gave up 32 points, and then in the third quarter, they gave up 34 points. And again, this was against one of the worst offenses in the entire league, like bottom of the barrel offense in Orlando. So yeah, that's tough, man. That's very, very tough. But it is what it is. Let's put it behind us. And let's rewrite this thing tomorrow, man. Let's rewrite it tomorrow. That's it. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you. It's not what we wanted. I wanted to bounce back and come on here and talk about how we bounced back, talk about how we made adjustments, and talk about all those positive things. But no, it's not much positivity coming out of this. Again, the only positivity that I had is the fact that the Lakers turned down their turnovers. They went from 21 turnovers down to 10. So they fixed that. They corrected that. But there's a lot that they need to figure out offensively, man. And again, they got to get back to that, championship level defense. Again, it doesn't have to be number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or number 4. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be top 5. Just top 10, top 10 defense and a top 6 offense is where you want to be. And we're good with that. That's kind of what I expect because you got LeBron, you got Luka. So offensively, you should be able to score against anyone, but only 106 points tonight. So that's rough. But again, you give them 118 to one of the worst defenses, one of the worst offenses in the league. You got to figure that out, man. You really have to figure that out. Vando picked up 3 fouls in the span of 16 seconds in this game. In that game last night, he just has not been playing well. He needs to figure some stuff out because, it just hasn't been good. Dalton Connect only played 5 minutes last night, so he's clearly out of the rotation. A game like last night, he's not going to give you much defense, but he does give you some scoring. So I don't know. I just don't know why. They need to figure all that stuff out. You had Trey Jemison there. He only played 1 minute tonight, so you didn't have bigs. I don't know, man. I don't know. So you wasted a game of his. Koloko wasn't with the team. He was down in the G League, but Jemison was there. Played 1 minute. Like, I don't get it. Like, they were driving to the paint doing that. Like, throw him out there. Jackson Hayes was in foul trouble, so you went with Vando. Vando was in foul trouble also, so you kind of just went small all night with LeBron or DFS at the center position. Like, throw Jemison out there. Like, I don't get what we're doing. You're just wasting and 1 minute. That's just a waste of a night for him. He only has, like a handful of games eligible left on the two-way stuff. So play him. Why? If you're going to throw him out there 1 minute, like what are we doing? Like, I don't get it. And it wasn't like, man, I don't know. I just don't know, man. I don't get it. Gabe didn't have a good game. Played 20 minutes, only scored 4 points. He had a steal early on, and I thought, okay, Gabe, you're going to have a night. But no, that fizzled out really, really fast. You really didn't get much from the bench. Rui played his 24 minutes. Again, he's on a minutes restriction. So he played 24 minutes, but he only scored 5 points. And I think he only took like 4 shots. So he's clearly not himself. He looked even worse than he did on Saturday. The knee is going to be an issue for him moving forward. But you want to see him play a little better than what he's played, or especially a little better than tonight. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, you heard it. He's only 70, 80%. He said it himself. So maybe he shouldn't be out there. Maybe he should still be resting. But it looks like he's going to fight through it. So, again, he was questionable on the injury report for a good length of yesterday. And then he was upgraded to probable, before the game. So we'll see. We'll see how that looks tomorrow. If he'll play tomorrow. Or whatever the case may be. But that's something that we're going to have to monitor and keep an eye out on, moving forward. So, what else? I'm trying to see what else we got for you guys before we get out of here. Trying to see if there's anything injury related. Oh, now, JJ did say that they're tired in his press conference. He said he can see it, that the team is tired. Like, that's just not an excuse. Everyone's tired, right? And I mean, literally 2 games ago, you rested everyone. Like, literally, they rested in that Milwaukee game and they took the loss. So how are you tired 2 games later, right? And I get it, the 8 games and 11 nights. I understand that. That's tough. But everyone's doing that. Now, the Lakers did have an extra game in there because they had to make up, for the wildfires, all that stuff. So they did play a little more than everyone else. But everyone's doing these back-to-backs. Everyone's playing. So, you can't use that as an excuse. You just can't. You got to fight through that. You got to navigate through that. And they have been doing so. So now when you start losing, you were on this hot streak, the hottest team in the league and all that. And now when you start losing, you want to start mentioning all these excuses. No, that just doesn't work for me. Like, it does not. The only thing that works for me is figuring this stuff out and getting some wins in the process along the way. Like, even in the course of figuring stuff out, you still got to be able to win games. That's just what championship level teams do, right? Boston, look at them. They played all the way, all the games they played, all the extra games they played last year, all the way to the finals. And then, they have 3 of their guys go play in the Olympics. And look what they're doing this season. You know, they're not using that stuff as an excuse. Cleveland, they've been playing well all year. OKC, they've been playing well all year, right? So you can't use this stuff as an excuse. You got to figure this stuff out, and you got to find a way to win games at the end of the day. So we'll see how they bounce back tomorrow. But that's it, man. Enough of my ranting. Enough of my frustrations. Let's just get back after tomorrow. It's going to be a fun game. A difficult game. Again, Indiana's a good team. They've been playing very well as of late. And they present some problems, you know, to the Lakers defensively. With their those big guards and other big guards. They're fast, athletic. They run in transition. They can put up the threes, and, you know, they got a legit big in Miles Turner. So it's going to be a fun matchup, but we'll break it down much more on tomorrow and tomorrow's episode of the Lowdown. But enjoy your day, and hopefully we'll get some help from Utah. Hopefully they can beat Memphis, upset Memphis later tonight, which means the Lakers will hold on to that 4 seed. Let me see as I record this. Denver lost. Oh, okay. So Denver did lose last night, 129-119. So Chicago helped us there. So that's a major. Because now instead of a full game, they're only half a game ahead of us. So yeah, that was big. So thanks, Chicago. So hopefully later we get some help from Utah. But that's the thing. We can't rely on everyone else. If you just win ball games, then you're straight. Again, the Lakers had done enough, you know, since mid-January to all they got to do is just win. We don't have to watch the standings. Just win, and everything will play itself out. But, you know, when you lose 7 of 10, you have an 0-4 road trip 2 weeks ago, and now you lose 3 straight. It makes things a lot tighter than what they need to be. But we'll see how we bounce back tomorrow. I'll tap in with you guys again. Don't forget to join me later today on Bleach Report at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific for Lakers Daily. We're over there for 30 minutes. And, yeah, come join me. And please drop a like on the video. Get in the comment section. Let me know. Let me hear you. Share your thoughts with me. And if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. And until then, we will catch you guys tomorrow. Purple and gold till we die. Purple and gold we ride. I bleed purple. My heart beats gold. It is and always will be. Lakers over everything. Lakers Nation, LOE fam, thanks for watching, man. We greatly appreciate you. Make sure you like this thing up. Make sure you share this thing out. Make sure you subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to LOE, baby. Welcome. And make sure you turn on your post notifications. Hit that bell so you don't miss anything going on here at LOE. Follow us on the socials. Instagram at Lakers_over_everything. Twitter at THEE1LOE. Once again, Twitter at the1LOE. Purple and gold till we die. Purple and gold we ride. I bleed purple. My heart beats gold. It's Lakers over everything.
Can't sleep, can't eat till you get it right. Oh, all my life I've been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, gotta pay that. Pay the price. Can't be real, but I'm living the life. All my life I've been grinding all my life. Lakers, baby. Yeah. You know what it is. Purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow. Yeah. You know what it is. Purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow. Yeah. You know what it is. Purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow. Yeah. You know what it is. Purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow. Yeah.
I'm a Laker till I die. Rest in peace, Chick Hearn.
93-70. This game's in the Admiral refrigerator. The door is closed. The lights out. Butter's getting hard, the eggs are cooling, and the jello is jiggling. Been jiggling for a long time.